Welcome back to the Getting Out podcast. Anthony here, and it's been a bit of a break for myself personally from the podcast. It was a great audience I had from the last two interviews and organising more to come. I've found that I've engaged with the audience. They got to understand myself a bit more, understand my guests I had, Steve and Nas. I appreciate it. Funny fact, I actually filmed one after the other on the same day, but just released a bit differently. I was extremely tired after it, but I was extremely pumped because I couldn't wait to get everything out to you guys. So once again, thanks, Nas and Steve. I will have more guests coming up as we speak. It's just a bit hard to organise. I've been quite busy with work, quite busy with the kids and what we've been doing. School holidays is upon us. Oh, actually, it's here now. And just sort of trying to juggle everything. So I have found some time to do an episode just to give you an update of what's going on and also have a bit of a topic I've been discussing after those last couple episodes. And it's been interesting because I've had people asking me about, what do I do? Would I have a trailer, camper, or caravan? What would be my perfect setup? Or what dilemmas have you gone through thinking about this? What would you choose if it was how much money you had, circumstances, storage, all the above? And I think I'm going to tackle that one today and what my thought process has been, what I've thought over the years, what I think now, what I believe would be great. I think number one for me is having something that I can tow easily that's light. And it's lighter than my current Prado, and which the car can tolerate. Because if you start going heavy caravans, particularly ones that are heavier than your vehicle loaded up, so say over 2.8, 2.9 ton, that's not safe for me personally. And seeing so many caravans on the road recently in the last few holiday periods is you see these cars either, the suspension at the rear is dumped right down and the wheels at the front are right, and the car's facing up practically. So if they brake, they're not going to have the same brake force as if they're unladen. Or if they had to if the car was leveled out, it'll brake and actually stop faster and safer. And I think that's probably my number one priority is, something I can tow that's easy and doesn't, break the car, doesn't have to mean I buy a new car. If I was doing a lap around Australia, yes, I'd probably have a more powerful car, newer car, maybe a V8 200 series. I don't know. But I definitely would want a caravan that had air conditioning and a toilet as a minimum. I've got a couple of friends of mine in Perth. Shout out to Andrew and Leone. They trekked over to Melbourne they've got a caravan now, and they've had the pop-top trailer. They've had the tent set up, the gazebo. They've gone through the lot. And seeing how they are in the caravan just made that much easier because, middle of Australia, 40 degrees, I can sort of go into the air-conditioned area and still sleep and be out of the heat. Not having that in certain vehicles, certain van setups, especially doing Australia trips, I don't believe you'll be able to survive and enjoy it as much. So, or you have to, spec out what time of the year you want to go, so on and so forth. So for that, a caravan with an air conditioner, that'd be my minimum as well. I'll be honest with that. What would I get? I don't know. Preferably something Australian made, though some things in the market today that are Chinese made are not that bad. Just got to really do your research. But that's a different world. I don't see myself doing that for quite a while, to be honest. And for now, I have a 6x4 trailer with an Oz jet tent, sort of essentially, it's like a dome tent with an extra room. It's easy to set up. And I put a gazebo at the front because when we've gone camping, it's been hot. And that's been our sort of refuge. Do I want to keep that set up forever? No. I find the tent's quite heavy. The tent's like 35 kilos in this bag, and it sits in the trailer. I can't put it on the roof. I can just put it in the back seat of the car. I've done it. We've done a couple of trips, just a couple of us, and yes, it was good to have the room to set up and whatnot, but honestly, it's so cumbersome. And sitting in the storage in the garage, it takes up a whole shelf. It's massive. So I'd love to upgrade to a Oz 10 RV4 RV5. So essentially, it's like a 30-second tent, sits on your roof, 2 meters long by about 40 centimeters wide, 40 centimeters deep in a bag. Sits on your roof, you pull it out, you pull one leg out, another leg out to make the square, and then you pop the legs up on the side. It's set up, it's ready to go. A couple guide ropes, definitely put a fly net on it for condensation in the cold, and you're done. It's a 2.4 or 2.6 meter by 2.6 meter area, couple of mattresses, all your luggage and stuff, done. Most of the stuff stays in the car anyway, I've learned. Having that extra room when the kids were younger was great because they were playing in it. That it was different. But then have the gazebo. It's a 3x3 gazebo at the front, so you got 9 square meters of area outside to play. And I'll tell you now, they don't sit in the tent long. It's hot or it's play time. And if they're going to bring their friends in the tent, we just move the mattresses aside. Kids do what kids do. So I'll be looking at that kind of setup. It's like 23 kilos or something. Sits on the roof. I've got a roof rack. Or can go in the trailer easy, but it's less cumbersome. 30-second setup, supposedly. I'd say call it 5 minutes. But I've used it before. That was the first tent we used when we went camping. And it was bloody great. And I'd do it again. The tent I had now, I picked it up for $200. It's usually about $600. I picked it up on Marketplace during COVID. And it's done. It's great. I've had it for 5 years now. Amazing. It's never faltered. Even in that 50-knot wind storm we had when we went camping, didn't fall, didn't do anything, didn't break. It held up. I use the super peg screws to put it in, but that'd be my first choice. That's probably the first change I'm going to make probably for the new season, because it's just easy to store, less weight, even put on top of the car. May have to bring the trailer. I still will bring the trailer because it's just easier. But for those solo trips, I'd even replace my swag with it and just bring a foam mattress for that, because I honestly still get a bit claustrophobic in the swag. It can connect to an awning. You put it against the awning. You just get the gutter for it, and you use the awning as shade. So it's a bit of a no-brainer for me. So that's probably my short-term setup change that I'm going to make. But that doesn't answer the question of what would I do for a camper trailer. For years, and I mean years, I've been looking at the Jayco pop tops, and I would love to. Always wanted one. I think they're cool. Setting up would be interesting. Being a 2005, I wouldn't. I'd get like an older one, like a 2002 Jayco Hawk Outback or something. They're about $7-8 grand online on Marketplace. I've been seeing. They are over 21 years old. May need some work, but they just, I don't know. I just like that old school camper. It just brings back an old school touch to camping. But the storage of it, the towing is easy. They weigh a ton. The storage, it'll be a little bit more tighter in the garage, in my single car garage. But at least I could store all my camping stuff in the trailer. I have 2 beds that fold out on each side so everyone can sleep comfortably, and invest in a good awning on the side so you got some shade. It's good all rounder, and I would definitely that's probably my choice I would get. But then you look at hybrid campers. You can get an older Jayco, spend a little bit extra money, and you get a little Jayco hybrid with a pop-out bed on one side and bunks on the inside, and you can have a pop-up roof, and it's all allocated in. And being in a couple of storms, I really want to get off the floor, off the tent, and then go into something that's off ground, because watching everybody watch us pack up sort of sitting off ground was great. Patriot camper will be another one as well, but I want to eliminate kids being on the floor and being up in a queen bed, because it's still a slot for camper. The awnings are a hard one to get, especially the older ones, and I'm not spending 30-40 grand on that, to be honest. I think if I'm going to spend 30-40 grand, I'll buy a Caravan. But storage, they're like 1.9 meters long. They weigh nothing. They're narrow. They're perfect. It'd be good to just even take with the boys camping and have it as base. But really, I would definitely if I had the money, I would get one of those. But a Jayco pop top or even a small hybrid camper would be my choice. But it comes down to dollars. How many times are you going to use it a year? What's the maintenance on it? Insurance, rego. Like, you can say you get it, you use it, save 3-4 times that year. And then you go, wow, I've used it all this time. That's sick. And then next year, you get busy. Life gets in the way. The kids got sports and the weather's shit, or 100 million different factors. The kids start going to more parties. They want to see their friends, or, all the above. You've got say you spent $9,000 after so hypothetically I bought the Hawk. $7,000 plus $2,000 on maintenance, tires, insurance, rego, new mattresses, probably having to silicon the roof. Call it $10,000. How long is it going to take? Like, I'll probably use it, say, 3-4 times a year. It's pretty much, if I keep that for 5 years, like, it's costing you X amount per use. And then you got this cumbersome thing you got to store all the time. Or I can store it on my folks, but I want it undercover because you start getting mold. You could hire it out, but look at some of the stories I've heard from people hiring out their vans and coming back in complete horrible mode. I could not imagine doing that. If I inherited one, like if someone was giving away one, or someone's giving away a cheap camper and I got it very, very cheap and spent bugger all money fixing it up, I'd seriously consider it because it wouldn't be that initial investment. But, $10,000, that's a lot of money that can go to something else, better, a better house, or, a holiday, overseas holiday. But really, like a secondhand Oz tent is about $500-600 online. Sell mine. I'm still not actually spending that much money. Maybe upgrade the bedding. You're spending under $1,000, but it's a storage. Like, yes, I've got 2 shelves in the garage full of camping storage. Yes, a camper could put the storage in and have 2 shelves free, but then I'm going to just fill it up with other crap. You get it. But so, I guess if it was my choice, I'd definitely get a Jayco Hawk and spend the money on it and enjoy it for the fair few years to come. And may not have to be able to travel in the summer all the time. It'll be a bit hard to set up, but, quick setup. And the more you pay, the quicker the setup. The less you pay, the longer the setup. But I don't want to be having to pack up and set up something that's going to take longer than my current tent. So if I was desperate to get off the ground, that's what I'd buy. Better off if I had a couple of friends who have them sitting there doing nothing and they're not using it on the weekends, I would ask if I can borrow it. Even do a service on it when I have it and improve some things on it for them. Maybe spend a couple $100 doing that on every time I've used it, just give them money to use it. I know a couple of friends that literally have one sitting there doing nothing, and especially the times I go away. And I've asked before and they said yes, but I'm a bit hesitant at the time because of just didn't really want to do it at that point in time. But I know the offer is there and I really, really appreciate it. They've borrowed tents off me before. They've borrowed things off us before. Like I said, use your resources and you'll find out. So, yeah, definitely going to have a look into that one day. But for now, happy with the trailer setup tent. If I was traveling a bit more, if I had a little bit more disposable income, I would buy a hybrid camper, like a Jayco Expander Outback with the bed that comes out on one side. And it's quite small. It's not that long. It's only, I think they're about, they're like a small little hybrid camper. Doesn't have a shower and toilet, but that's fine. But they're insulated. You can upgrade the insulation in it. Like I think I saw them for about 14-15 grand for an older one. I would spend that extra money and get one of those if I was traveling a lot more than I currently am. You get more bang for your dollar out of it. Be much more comfortable. A storm comes through, you'll survive, but you can still do your outdoor cooking. You can still live a camper life without, glamping in a sense. It's just that extra insulation. It's that extra insurance of being a bit more comfortable, the weather turns, you're fine. And it still has a pop-up roof, so it's not going to be like over the top of your car. That's the other thing. I hate, if I'm going to go caravan, I'll get a bigger car because of the height of the thing. Yeah, I just see so many cars driving around with these big caravans and just seeing them again. Literally, the cars are struggling to tow these things. And yes, they say the D-Max and all these Rangers and stuff can tow 3.5 ton. I'm sure they can, but at what cost? How hard is that engine working? How light do you have to have the car inside so you don't go over your GVM? Because it is illegal to go over your GVM. I know my mates have got cars, they've got the GVM upgrade, so they can, I think a GVM, my car, say 3 ton, you can make it 3.6 ton GVM. It gives you an extra 600 kilos of insurance to not go overboard. So if you have, hypothetically, you have a car accident, you braked, you had a car accident with a camper trailer on back, and insurance see that you're over your GVM, you may not be insured. You buy an 80 grand car, 40 grand caravan, 50 grand caravan, adds up. You're in, you've lost that very, very bad. And, you got to protect yourself and protect others on the road. So, yeah, that'll be an interesting one day. I can't wait to go down that path one day. I'll probably wait a couple of years until I do so. I really think tent life is fun. Rooftop tent I've thought about before, borrowing one and trying it out. Sleeping on the roof or more the wind or the extra weight on the roof, I'm not in a Prado. Prado's got about 80 and 100 kilos roof limit. Rooftop tents, a good one is about 77 kilos. Add the roof rack, add the awning, you're way over. Again, you're putting all that stress on the car. It's not worth it. Oz tent strapped to the roof, 22 kilos. You'll be able to use the awning. Yes, you're on the ground, but get a stretch. I'd try it with a stretcher. You're off the ground technically. Is it worth a try? Definitely. I kind of over the swag in a sense because of the claustrophobic. Sleeping on the ground again. So might try a few things out and report back to you guys and see the benefits and do pros and cons of everything. Do a bit of a review on it. And so in conclusion, upgrade the tent to something lighter and faster so I can enjoy more time with the kids. It's easy to tow with, easy to put on the roof. If I was to buy a camper under 10 grand, it'd be like a Jayco pop top. If I was going to buy a hybrid, I'd buy like a Expander or even like a Forbes 12. I think they're made by MDC. They were really good. And yeah, that'd be my choice. But that's another time to come. I love to get some people that actually been through that experiment and see what they say and go from there. On the review topic, TRC Concepts reached out to me after my show and said they really liked it and actually sent me a grill to use over my fire when I go camping. I can't wait to look at that and go into it a bit more. So I really appreciate them reaching out and sending it to me. It's the first thing I've ever been sent. I didn't ask for anything. He offered and I said yes. So looking forward to seeing how that goes. It's in my garage at the moment. I'll have to show a photo of it all. And yeah, a lot of different support comes out as well from other places, and I'm going to interview as well. So yeah, this podcast is starting to grow. I'm admittedly, 28 episodes in. I'm pretty stoked, to be honest. So I appreciate all the feedback, all the praise, and even some criticism I got. Someone said, "Oh, the show was a bit long last time." I'm like, well, averaging about 20 minutes an episode. That one went for an hour 20. It's more content. It's free. Fair enough. I understand. But, this is the fourth time I've interviewed someone. So it's a learning process. Sometimes they say it takes you 10,000 hours to master something. I don't know where I am at the moment, but I'm sure I've spoken over 10,000 hours of conversations being in sales. So speaking to a microphone solo or speaking to the microphone with someone, and especially if you only just met them, yes, you know the same topics. Trust me, it's a decent exercise, but bloody hell, it's a fun one, and I keep enjoying it, and hope you guys enjoy it as well. And shout out to Voltrekker. They've got a new bag coming out that stores all your shoes, everything goes in the front seat, clips on. You can have a bit of a organised little area up top as well. Spoken to the team there. They get the bags coming in August. I can't wait to. I'm actually going to buy one, and I can't wait to use it. So shout out to them. He'll be on the show as well. So yeah, anyone you want to hear from, anyone you want to see, anything you want me to answer, please reach out. I don't know if I think I've updated. So the website's now www.gettingout.com.au. We're going to have some merch on there soon. I'm in the midst of writing an ebook of all the topics I've written. I promised that I'd actually do it. That's another thing I've been doing in the background, is doing like a bit of an ebook for you guys to look at. Getting some stickers made. So I'm going to put some stickers on my website to buy. It's like a bit of a support to me to say thank you. They're going to be $5, and I'll post it out to you. And I'm not asking you to buy it if you listen to the show. It's if you want to put it on your car, put it in your toolbox, put it in your house, whatever. But buy, the $5 investment in the sticker that gets sent to you is a bit of a thing, a little bit to put towards the show. This show's not free to produce. I think I spend nearly $30, $40 a month running the website, running the program to put this up, and also running the email. I'm not having to suck about it or anything. I'm just being honest and open. You want to make a podcast, it's about $50 a month. You want to buy the equipment, you're looking at about $600 for a good set of equipment. Happy to share that one day if anyone wants to know how much I spent. I literally bought a microphone and arm off my mate who lent it to me. I just bought it off him. I bought a mixer that puts it in and transfers it to the computer, and I use a program called Adore. Cost me a couple of bucks a month, but I use Buzzsprout to put it online. That's about $20 a month subscription. So yeah, that's the honest costs of it, and it comes free to your car, to your headphones, to you wherever you listen to. I appreciate it. Seeing people have listened to it and subscribed to it it makes a great day even better. So I appreciate it. So yeah, you'll see them coming up soon. I'll advertise it on my Instagram, and yeah, so look forward to the next one. Have a great day, everyone. Enjoy the winter that's in Melbourne or wherever you are in the world. If you're in Europe in summer, I envy you. Have a great one, and cheers.